Good morning to those with Nicholson, and good morning to those with daughters. That was a terrible joke. Anyway, Raiders Sharks 24-20. What a cracking start to the week it was for my team. That helped, Mr. Matty. They love he loves a crawl to the line try. He's scored three tries in 4 games now, and I was very much hoping that this would be the case in this game with Billy Burns coming in and Hiroti. And to be honest, Hiroti was incredible in this game. So not too much more to say on that being like a softer matchup. You know, Kale Iro is incredible and probably close to the best centre in the game this year in the first 4 games. But Hiroti was awesome, and defensively they end up losing this game. And I tipped Sharks, so that was a tough finish. But congrats to Raiders. That final try was incredible. But Hiroti was making really good cover saving tackles in sort of the halfway line with Matt Timoko, who's an absolute jet of a runner of the footy, and very, very impressed with his effort out there. Burns is a solid NRL player, but it gives us an opportunity to score some tries on plays like that. And we did end up seeing Seb Chris get over at the end, and congrats to him. I think he got a double in the end as well. I know he didn't get the one. Oh, did he get pulled back? Anyway, but yeah, 24-20 victors and some cracking scores in this one. When we looked at scoring last week, and remember there was a few games there where I said three or 4 players only that scored 50 plus. In this one, you're moving all the way down to Horsburgh there, so 9 in the end that went 50 plus. So awesome game for fantasy scoring, and if you owned a few players, then happy days. None other than Joe Tapine being one of the best players in the game as well. What an incredible man he is on the footy field. 5 tackle breaks, 5 offloads, no misses, 43 tackles, and 158 metres there with just the 1 penalty, which seems to be his only problem is more when he hits high. And he did not go to the bin last night. Hudson Young did with his 75 points and a bin. So that reminds me a lot of what we saw with Latrell Mitchell last year. I think he had 1 or 2 games there where he got binned either right at the end or during the match and came back and absolutely crushed it anyway. And that was Huddy Young. So shout out to all 3 of the big forwards in this side, Tapine, Young, and Matty Nicholson, 86, 75, and 74. They're all spectacular, and the roles are great. We know that Huddy, usually doesn't start this well. So he's averaged 60 across the first 5 now, and he's definitely one of the gun edges you want in your side long term. The Raiders, though, they were good to start with. Are they good to buy in the middle of the year? Probably not. Are they still good to buy now? Yeah, of course. I think they get all the way to around 14 or something like that. Or around 13 or 14, one of the two, where they get the start of the buy period, and then they do miss some games following that. Yeah, Tapine, is he someone that you want to look at as a guy on your side? Yeah, definitely. He looks awesome. Minutes up at 59, so he's playing more than Big Red. We do have to realise that Hosking will return to this side, and he's going to be playing middle, basically. So who's going to drop out of this side? Is it going to be the question? Will it be a Smithies? Is it a Mariota? It's going to be a tough one. Or does Simi Sasangi move out of the side because Nicholson can play the 80, and he's actually... it was just short in this game, 77 minutes, and Big Papa came back on for him. But with Nicholson, he is playing 65 minutes on the edge and then moving to the middle. And we've seen that across the last few weeks. And last week it didn't show in the results. With about 10 minutes to go, he was on like 40-41 and then missed a bunch of tackles there, and that hurt him. But he could have easily got a 50 last week just with that pure base to the middle. But it was very scattered in that game last week against the Cows, the way that they were playing, and there was a lot of gaps in and around the middle of the park, and him moving to edges when he was trying to tackle, and a few tries were scored and a few line breaks were made as well. So this week was very different. It was very structured through the middles, a nice line of defense. He doesn't jump out at players either. What you see there when someone's coming hard, he seems to be the one that just drops back that little bit. The other guy takes the first contact and then he comes in for the second hit. So it's not likely for him to get bumped off. And these are just little things you look for in your fantasy players, because that -2 off with the little bump off is super frustrating. And there's a good reason why he picked up the 46 tackles. And don't get me wrong, he made He made plenty of really good one-on-one tackles, or just two guys in the tackle, and he got them to the ground pretty comfortably and pretty quickly. But in those type of scenarios, he does sit back just that half a meter and let the other person usually take first contact. And surprisingly, a lot of time it's guys like Starling or Horsburgh and these types of guys that they pride themselves on that first contact and getting up and out of the line. So Nicholson, I certainly think he's a buy because he will need the attacking stats to go really well. But what we saw this week was a tremendous base. They gave him the footy a bit more, showed his power in his running. I don't know if I think they gave him 3 tackle breaks at the start, and then he picked up 3 on that right edge there. 2 on Trindle, I think, which was good. Just bumped him off and showing his strength. So that was great. Great work from him. Tapine, do you go and buy him at a low, what's it going to be, a 50, 54 pricing type of thing? I just think he adds himself to that midsection of guys that you may want, for sure. And if you're a Raiders fan or if you like Tapine, then definitely you could jump on. Jamal Fogarty, really good game for him here. 65, got them around the park, 36 tackles, plenty of kick chase. So he was usually first one there after the kick that he put through. A line break assist, 4 goals, 672 kick meters. He is an absolute jet. And you have no forced dropouts in this one. But incredible work from Fogarty, 54.2 average for him now across the season, and just doing an absolutely good job. And you can't ask for too much more with someone like Fogs, because that's just not his game. It's going to be base stats and go nuts the rest. Hiroti, 65 for him. As I said, a really good game, and 25 tackles for 4 misses. It's going to be hard on that side with the Jets that they have, but 2 turnover tackles, 209 run meters, and that try where he just absolutely burnt Timoko. So awesome work for Timoko on that one. So Timoko for Hiroti on that one. I was like, I just said Timoko, didn't I? Adam Fanua-Blake, 61. He ended up getting a little jump overnight. I think it was 55 or so, 56. And pure base, 38 tackles, 21 points through running, which is crazy. 211 run meters, ending up with 59 points across that. And this is going to be good if we can get this type of minutes on a regular basis and can get this type of output. And look, it is a higher scoring game, so be aware of that. And that's why this PPM was better than the game 2 and 3, where he didn't have the massive minutes. But if there are going to be games that are fantasy relevant, it'd be great. It's great to see that he can get really good scores at 61 without playing 70 minutes and not getting a try or anything like that. And I think those stats will come very, very soon. Definitely keep it on your watch list. Britton Nikora, 59 for him. 2 tries and a line break. They just willed them over, didn't he? The problem with him is the base stats. So he's had 36 tackles, which is good. 3 misses, an error. 59 run meters. For someone so devastating, how they don't give him the ball close to the line more than twice a game. Like that should be coming to him, 6, 7, 8 times in good ball. Given the ball, he just seems to make it happen. Like that try he scored, he went through like 3 guys, just like carried him over. So it's not like it's like, they're ready for it. Well, they would have been ready for it there, and they still couldn't stop him. So yeah, I don't know. He should be getting way more ball, especially in the in the 20 and the 30 for the opposition in the red zone, as they say. But yeah, Nikora, annoyed that we're not going to get him a little bit cheaper now with the 59, but yeah, is what it is. McInnes, if you own him, great. McInnes, 54. Just the 50 minutes in this one, we saw Adam Fanua-Blake play more, but 45 tackles for McInnes and 111 run meters just shows his ability just to accumulate the stats. It's awesome work there. And another guy you want to be looking at with him and Fanua-Blake both averaging 57 to begin the year. It's an awesome start, and they're guys you do want to look at on your side. McInnes basically matched Horsburgh's minutes there with 51 for him. A little bit annoying, like he's playing so good, and then obviously he gets taken off in 51 minutes, but for him to not come back, Starling not to come back as well, it's very different to what we saw in round 1 when they didn't have Nicholson playing and these types of guys. So yeah, a little bit frustrating that the low 50s minutes is where we're going to end up with Horse, because it did seem like it was going to be 60, but we're not disappointed with the score at all. He played a much better game of footy, and he deserved some extra minutes last night with how he played, for sure. So congrats to Horsburgh owners. He's averaging 54 for the season. I've only missed out on the 57, and we've made plenty of cash here. We got him priced at like a near 40, and we're seeing him hit 54 average, which is awesome. Lock and load, keep him there for a long time, I imagine. We got Brayley 47, just solid again. He's had a decent season. Starling 44 in his 51, and the worry here now is the minutes, and it's happened 3 weeks in a row, and it was actually less this week with Owen Paddy playing the rest of the time, and he looks really good. He works hard. He does some good things. But Starling, he's playing so well, and that try assist was just great. Just to have that type of creativity from your 9, get out, perfect little grubber. He was awesome, and I owned him in Supercoach, picked up like a 51 with the try assist. Is okay. And he's someone that I think with these minutes, you'll probably want to look to use him as an upgrade target in the next bunch of weeks. He has been hitting in the 40s, which he is almost priced at now. So he's very close to peaking from for that standpoint. And people might like to upgrade, but in the hooking position, is he helping and is he covering for you? Maybe, and you may need to hold on tight. Burns still got 42. As I said, he's a good NRL player, just not the quality of like Wiltons and Nickers and the like. So yeah, there's chances to, and then it's just new structures on that side is what gives me the thought and the opportunity to get a try down that side. Nico Hynes 41. Ooh, kick meters 191, run meters 123. Great. No offloads, no tackle breaks. What happened to those good old days where he'd have those stats and at least some decent kick meters. So yeah, he was like 1/3 of what Trindle was in this game, who didn't score very well at all, but 363. So he's getting double the points. He's getting 6 extra points to what Trindle is. And, if he was getting that 300 odd kick meters, which isn't a lot, then you're seeing him at about 47. But for him, 53.6 is the average. He'll lose some cash now after a couple of lower ones now. And someone asked, when do we look to pick up Hynes? When he looks a lot better, I think. There will be games where it's a bit easier and he will score well. But anything that's kind of close or he's not getting any attacking stats, it's going to be somewhere near the 50 mark, unfortunately. It just looks like his accumulation days of getting to 60 really comfortably they're not here anymore, unfortunately. So I hope that things continue to turn around. It's a tough loss for them and for him because he just seems to cop the brunt of it. And I'm not going to pile on Nico because I think he's a great player. Just, yeah, tougher stretch for him and the media just they beat him up. Kafusi 40, Timoko 38. Just been solid season for him, 43.6. We had Smithies basically play the same minutes as Big Red, which I'd hope for a little bit more from Big Red compared to Smithies, but yeah, he missed the week and he came back strong, did a good job for him. Ramian 36, Tamale 36. So I didn't end up playing him. He's in my 5 slot, and now I have to decide what I'm doing with Tom Gilbert because he would be my use for the looper. So yeah, we'll decide there. But 36 probably isn't enough to take this week when guys like Hubner are probably your 17th man who can get 50 and hit 36 in decent minutes in round 1. So yeah, I think you just go for it. Yeah, it's a good score, but it's not incredible. I was hoping, to take like a 45, I think would be pretty fair to change any potential trades we're looking at. But 36, if you played him, you're pretty happy with that, I think, in this side. And they have like the Eels and Titans or something coming up. It's a really nice stretch. So apparently people in chats and Discords are talking about selling him. He's averaging 39 for one. He's dual position and has a soft run coming up. And he's an incredible ball runner. 4 tackle breaks, 2 offloads. Picked up the line break. They finally got down that left-hand side and picked up 189 meters. So that in base stats is what it's, apart from the tackles from like a Rob Toya, is where he's getting his base. But Tamale with tackle breaks and runs, he can get that, 30 generally. And then if you can score a try, happy days. Oh, and Paddy, for owners of him, 35 in 29. You take that every day of the week. He'll make some cash now, which is good. And we're probably expecting minutes like this or similar to it fairly regularly right now, I believe. With just how this is setting up for Starling. He continues to get slightly lower and slightly lower minutes. And it was wild that he was coming back on for that 5 or 10 at the end of the games because it doesn't look like it at all right now. And then we get into some of the not so owned players. In Seb Chris, 33. Papali'i Weeks, Molitalo, 29. He's had a decent start, so it's a bit of a lower one for him. Trindle, 23. He'll lose some cash. Ethan Strange, 23. Same deal. Sasungi, 23. Atkinson, he's getting cheap now, isn't he? 326 before this week. Sasungi, Savage. Yeah, for those who are interested in Savage, tough little run for him, especially under the high ball. And then for the Supercoach standpoint, I'm on 207. I've used 3 players, and as I said, very, very happy with Nicholson because I have him in Supercoach as well. So Hudson Young, 110, Tups, 91, with Nicholson, 91. They actually updated this last night, I believe, because Hynes was 42. He's up to 48. And then, yeah, Tamale, I didn't play in the end in Supercoach. Again, I think Nicholson was my final reserve with the quality, given he's gone back-to-back sort of 50s, where I know Tamale could do it, but I just don't know how much they go left. And it was kind of that until that line break at the end. But yeah, good score from him, 54. Starling, 51, will take it at hooker, given we've gone cheap there. And then Big Red was 65 is where we're at. And if you look on the other side, Adam Fanua Blake's the one you'd want to look at on their side. Was a really good score. And he'll continue to do stuff like this, and he'll score a try, and he'll have banger weeks and stuff. But yeah, Tapine in the front row has been killer, and Huddy Young as well. Just a dominant player all year for Huddy so far. He's had the odd low one, but great scores in between. 76, 44, 91, this 42 against the Cows, and then the 110. So great scores, good average. Has lost a bit of cash, surprisingly, at 655k. And if you jumped on this week, you're absolutely flying. And Nikora, 87 with the double, which is a little bit frustrating because, yeah, he's been scoring tries regularly this year, but just hasn't eclipsed that 90 mark yet, which we saw him do plenty last year. But anyway, that's that first game of the round. We'll get back in and go through the next two once it happens. I've got to work out my trades today now that the Tamale loop is finished, and we'll see how we go. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.